टेबल आगे करो बेटा, टेबल आगे करो।
Today we are going to have a lecture on acid peptic disease. If we go by the literature of peptic, acid, we know that acidity, peptic. If we go and search in the Google, the peptic is an adjective that refers to any part of the body that normally has acid, lumen, or relate or promote digestion. So, peptic is the stomach and a part of the duodenum which is normally acidic. So, the peptic this is the peptic structure in our body. So, any pathology which increases or decreases the acidity in the peptic structure, that is in the stomach or the duodenum, will manifest as lot of symptoms, and we have to see what these symptoms are there and what disease they can manifest if not treated. So first is the because of raised acidity or low pH. If the pH is low, then we can have ulcers. And what is the definition of ulcer? It is the breach in the continuity of the mucosa is known as ulcer. So here the disruption in the mucosal integrity of the stomach or duodenum leading to local defects or excavation due to active inflammation is known as ulcer or peptic ulcer. We have to differentiate this ulcer from gastritis, which we will discuss right now. In gastritis, there is no breach in the lining. It is only the inflammation in the gastric mucosa. The inflammation may be acute of some duration or chronic if it is of longer duration. But there is no breach in the mucosa. If the pH is very low, it may cause ulceration in part of the stomach, and if it is abnormally low, like in some malignancies of gastric G cell, which secrete the gastrin. So if there is any abnormality or hypersecretion of gastrin, then we can have abnormal ulcers over the abnormal region, and that we know as Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. And if the acidity is decreased, then we will have symptoms of gastritis, localized pain gastritis, and because of decreased secretion of acids, we will have lot of malabsorption, because we know that this acid is important for the digestion of protein part of the food which we consume. So the acidity or the pH in the stomach is a double-edged sword. If it is very low, then it may cause ulceration in the epithelium and will manifest as ulceration and the other manifestation because of ulceration. And if the pH is abnormally increased, then we will have mild digestions and other symptoms. If we phylogenetically see the pH in our body, we know, as in the last class we have discussed, that from the second part of the duodenum up to the large intestine, it is almost sterile. And we know why it should be sterile. It is because of lot of pathogenic bacteria enters through the GI tract and may cause harm to the particular organism. So this stomach, the main function of stomach is the food storage, sterility of the gut, and dissolution of protein in the foodstuff. So if we phylogenetically see that in an infant less than 1 year, the pH of the stomach is 4. Don't write these things given in the book. तो बच्चों का 1 साल से कम के बच्चों का pH लगभग 4 रहता है. And we know that as this pH is high, they are more prone for gut infection, enteric infections. As we age, our pH come to almost 2, and this is a pH at which very less number of pathological bacteria can survive. As our age increases, we are 60 plus, then again the normal pH of the stomach increases, and hence we are more susceptible to enteric and other organisms as we age. But in between we are sterile or less infectious to the infective organism, maybe because of survival advantage, because at this is the age of reproductions, this is the age of progeny. So nature has given us a immunity that you will survive these dangerous pathogens. If we see the pH of animals also, like if we do the pH of herbivorous, omnivorous, carnivorous, and the mood or some eagles or vultures who are eating the carcass, that means the number of pathogenic bacteria increases as we see in the ecosystem. Like herbivorous, there is less chances that the organism will eat a dangerous pathology because they eat a sterile food. So the pH in these type of animals is almost 6 to 7. We also know that there are a lot of hard cell wall peptide in these organisms. So they require a lot of intact digestive system to break this cell wall. So in our body we have got the large intestine where a lot of microbacterial floras are there which breaks the some fatty acids, carbohydrates which cannot be broken down by our enzymes. So the prebiotics which are there in the large intestine are helpful for breaking these part of the foodstuff. Similarly, in the ruminants and the herbivores, this part is being taken by the upper part of the stomach. In these animals, there is a small pouch in the upper part of the stomach where the food is normally being taken initially, and there are a lot of prebiotic microbial flora which break down the hard cell wall pectin in these foodstuff. And we know that if the pH is very low, this microbiota may not survive. So the nature has given them a small pouch where the pH is almost 7, and this pH is good for the microbiota to survive. And then they have another pouch which is more acidic. This is acidic to kill the pathogenic bacteria. So in herbivores, the pH of stomach is usually 6 to 7, almost normal. As we go down, as the number of pathogens are more in the foodstuff, the pH decreases. In omnivorous, as they are more taking the vegetarian and non-vegetarian, so the pH is little bit low, 2 to 3. In carnivorous, they are mainly required to absorb the protein part, so the pH is little bit high. And as we go to the vultures, they are supposed to eat dead and putrefied parts, and the chances of infectivity is maximal in those part of the carcass. So the pH of the stomach is very low to kill the pathogenic organism. So this pH is a double-edged sword. If it is very low in our body, it may cause disease, and if it is not, if it is on the higher side, the absorption may be decreased. Second, we will see that as in the lower animals, there is a pouch in which there is a lot of good bacteria are there which help in the fermentation, digestion of the food which is being eaten by those organisms. We also had a bacteria. Probably we don't know what was the use initially, but now this bacteria is causing main disease in our peptic ulcer disease, that is H. pylori. Phylogenetically, it may be this pylori may be having some beneficial role in early part of the evolution, but now because of mutation, because of change in the food which we are taking, the medium inside our body, it has changed, and now it is the most common cause of any altered gastric epithelium in human being. So the most common cause of any etiology of acid peptic disease in us is H. pylori infections, and the second is the rampant use of NSAID which we are taking for lot of diseases, either for the prevention of some cardiovascular disease or for rheumatological or for any pain which we are taking. So the most important two causes is the H. pylori infections, and the second is the rampant use of NSAIDs. So we have discussed the definition of peptic ulcer disease, and it should be more than 5 millimeter depth to classify it as a ulcer. Gastric anatomy, we have read in our initial classes that the epithelium is differentiated here to produce more and more of HCl, and if the body is producing lot of HCl, there has to be a protective mechanism, otherwise it will auto digest the epithelium. So one part of the body is producing hydrochloric acid, and other part of the structure is producing some other ways in which it can decrease the side effect of HCl, that is the mucus and the bicarbonate, which will decrease the acidity in that local part of the gastric epithelium. And in the pylorus, the gastric cells are more, and these are for the gastric, and gastric has a direct action on the secretion of hydrochloric acid. So this is the peptic gland which secretes the HCl. These are the cells which secrete the HCl, and this is the gland which secrete the mucus and bicarbonate, which decreases the effects of acid on the local side. And it is a continuous process of secretion of acid and the secretion of mucus and other thing. And if this is in equilibrium, we don't have any break in the epithelium. If there is any change in the secretion of acids or altered secretion of mucus, then the break of the epithelium would occur and we will have the clinical features. This is a specialized cell which secretes the HCl, and this is known as the auxantic cell, and normally this is the ATPase enzyme which actively, with the help of lot of mitochondria, it is an active process, and lot of mitochondria are used for the secretion of hydrochloric acid, and this is being done by this enzyme which effluxes the hydrogen in the lumen, and for that particular hydrogen, one potassium will be taken inside, and this hydrogen will combine with the chloride and HCl will be formed, and this enzyme normally is in the inactive state in the cytoplasm, but if there is any activation to secrete the HCl, we know it may be from the cephalic phase, from the oral phase, or in the duodenal phase. In all the three phases, the HCl is secreted. So this, if it is activated, either these are the receptors on the cell wall, and these get activated by lot of stimuli, and then these will go toward the lumen and will secrete the HCl in the lumen. This is the histamine. This is histamine receptors. This is the acetylcholine receptors, the histamine receptors. We will discuss these when we will study the treatment of the particular acid inhibitions. We have discussed that the secretion of HCl is counterbalanced by the particular gastric anatomy. Like this is the mucus and the bicarbonate which are there in the lining of the epigastrium, and the pH at this place is almost neutral, 7 okay. So and the pH here is 2. So this, if there is any leak in the mucus or bicarbonate secretion, this will cause ulceration. And this is the extensive network of the blood vessels, neurovascular bundles, and the alkaline tide, which helps to decrease the onslaught of HCl over the lumen or the gastric epithelium. And if there is any break in any part of this, then it will cause increased HCl secretion or the ulcer. Like if the prostaglandin secretion is hampered by the NSAID, then this will cause the ulceration. Similarly, if there is any ischemia of the blood vessel which is going in the blood pits, if because of ischemia, the alkaline tide and the soda bicarb diffusion would decrease, and this will cause ulceration. If we go by the epidemiology of acid peptic disease, it is usually the H. pylori is the most commonly implicated for this disease, and as we have discussed, it is usually after the 6th decade of life, and if it is because of any other etiology, it may occur at earlier age. Normally the ulcers are small, but the giant ulcers are more than 3 centimeters, and by endoscopy we can see if it has bled or it is going to bleed. These are the things which we can see when we do the endoscopy. And the ulcers probability that they may be malignant is more over the stomach part compared to duodenal part. So any ulcer over the fundus or the lesser curvature is more chances that it may become malignant rather than a ulcer over the duodenal part. And if we see the duodenal ulcer, the same NSAID and H. pylori are the most positive of part, and as we have discussed, H. pylori will decrease the bicarbonate secretion and will cause accelerated gastric emptying of the liquids in the duodenum, and we know that it is more acidic in the stomach, so it will cause ulceration in the duodenal area. In gastric ulcer, the most common etiology is NSAID and the H. pylori, and the impairment of mucosal defense, that is because of abnormality in the resting and stimulated pyloric sphincter pressures. If the pressure in the pyloric area is decreased, either because of bile acid reflux or the pancreatic enzyme reflex in the stomach because of altered duodenal gastric reflex or delayed gastric emptying of the solids, will cause ulcers in the this part of the GI tract. The most common and extensively illustrated is the H. pylori. It may cause from a benign ulcer to gastric mark, and if not treated, it may turn to highly malignant B cell lymphoma also if not treated. And if we check the H. pylori with lot of drugs, then it may decrease or regress completely without any anti-malignant drugs. If we see the H. pylori, how it causes the disease, there are lot of proteins in the genome of the H. pylori. Almost there are 1500 proteins which are active with lot of ligands by which the H. pylori is active. But basically, it produces urease, that enzyme urease, which